mind-blowing discovery after their 15-year-old daughter disappears with her uncle. Their precious daughter has been missing for nearly a month now. And tonight, we know the uncle was keeping a deep, dark, toxic secret. He is a convicted sex offender, and nobody in the family knew. Jean Berlinghoff and her Uncle Charles vanished November 10th, exactly 3 weeks ago, from Jean's home in Redding, California, where the uncle had shown up for a visit. They left in a big hurry because Jean didn't take anything with her. No clothes, no makeup, nothing. And, you know, she's a 15-year-old, okay? She would have taken something. Tonight, there's an all-out manhunt to find this uncle who is being sought for kidnapping. Jean's family is on a desperate mission to find their precious teenage daughter. Check out this video from Redding.com.
They could be anywhere at this point. They could be hitchhiking. They could still be up on that mountain. They could be posing as a father-daughter trying to get a ride somewhere for Thanksgiving, or a ride across the country somewhere. Maybe a trucker will see them and call the police.
Search crews tonight out looking for Jean and her uncle. As you can see from this video from Redding.com, Jean's dad thinks his daughter was pressured to leave because Charles threatened to harm the family. And now this girl is out there somewhere with an admitted sex offender. We have got to find her. We're trying to help here on Issues Tonight. Give me a call. 1-877-JVM-SAYS, 1-877-586-7297. We're very honored to have with us tonight Jean's father, Jake Berlinghoff. Jake, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. I know this has to be unimaginable for you and your family. I want to know what these last 3 weeks have been like for you. Is it true that you had no idea your brother has a history of child molestation? Tell us all about that.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, what's happened over the last 3 weeks, we found out that he was a sex offender. He had a felon that was reduced to a misdemeanor, and it was somehow expunged from his record. He'd been in and out of our lives quite a bit. At one point, he disappeared for about 10 years, and he popped back in with his two girls that were 10 and 7 years old. And he would visit with them quite a bit, and we really had no idea or suspected anything about him.
This is your flesh and blood. This is your brother. This has got to feel like the ultimate betrayal for you. What are you going through, Jake?
Well, right now I'm just trying to do everything I possibly can to bring Jean home and get her face out there and my brother's face out there. This has been extremely tough. I just want to do everything I can to bring Jean home alive.
Jean's family, as you just heard from her dad, they had no idea they were inviting a sex offender into their home. Jean's dad says he only recently found out that Uncle Charles pleaded guilty to felony child molestation in 1998. And Jake says his brother had his record expunged. Charles apparently never told anyone in the family that he had been convicted or even accused of child molestation. He was not a registered sex offender. Lisa Bloom, this is crazy. Once again, the system dropping the ball. I mean, this guy pleaded no contest to indecent exposure in 93, and then in 98 he was charged with 4 counts of child molestation and convicted of 1. How on earth could his record be expunged? It's absurd and infuriating.
Yeah, something is missing from this story, Jane, because that should not happen. If he has a felony conviction as an adult, that would ordinarily not be eligible for expungement if it is a sex crime. And the family should be notified because ordinarily when there's a sex crime felony conviction, there are orders that attach, namely he can't be around children, he can't be around schools, etc. This is a 15-year-old girl. The family should be notified so that they can protect their children. So something is missing from this story, and I can't tell you what it is. Some law enforcement person didn't do what they were supposed to do. It wasn't really expunged, even though he said it was. Something is wrong here.
I'll tell you what's wrong, and it's wrong with every single case we cover. The system failed. This is what happens over and over again. The really dangerous people are out there roaming around. Well, we've got our prisons full with people who are dangerous, but also people who are not so dangerous.
Well, Lisa, I think law enforcement, they did the job. They locked them up. It's then in the court system with the prosecutors and the defense attorneys. So don't blame law enforcement this time, okay?
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. informed. That's the problem. They didn't know.
Well, that's the court system, not law enforcement.
Well, those are probation officers, those are law enforcement officers that are usually charged with that responsibility to go with the family and say, he's a convicted sex offender, it's not safe to have
But
him
we
around
don't
minor
know,
children.
so that's the bottom line.
All right, listen, the
His dad
car
says he
Jean's
didn't know.
uncle was driving was found this past weekend about 50 miles north of the home, the family home in Reading. Okay, here is video from Reading.com showing the 1987 Oldsmobile being towed away. It was parked in a driveway covered with snow. No sign of Charles or Jean. Jake, do you have any idea where they may have gone from there?
They could be anywhere at this point. They could be hitchhiking. They could have hitchhiked out of the area. I'm asking people to check rest stops, rest areas, truck stops. They're really they could be anywhere right now. They could even still be up on that mountain somewhere. The police have done very thorough searches. It's a very big wilderness area up there, and there's a lot of caves and a lot of mines to hide out at. I'm just asking everyone, please, to keep your eyes open for them.
Now, my big issue tonight, toxic family secrets. I mean, Jean's family. Again, no idea that the brother, the man you just heard from there, had pleaded guilty to sex crimes. And that made it impossible for them to make informed choices about whether to allow this man around their children. Crimes often revolve around toxic secrets, and these secrets can fester into violence. Erin Runyon, one of my heroes, is with us tonight. She is the mother of Samantha Runyon. Her daughter was viciously murdered by a man who had a history of child molestation, and he apparently had also gotten away with it and still was walking around with this toxic secret. Erin, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that it's really important, again, just to get her picture out as much as possible. The thing that's so frustrating about this case is we had a picture of the car and the perpetrator, so we just need people to be looking. Somebody knows where they are. And the fact of the matter is that most crimes against children, most intimate crimes, are perpetrated by somebody that the family knows and trusts. This is not at all uncommon. And so that's why it's so important that we teach folks how to recognize predatory behaviors and teach children what to do. I mean, if Jean Marie is watching, to know that she can reach out, that she can throw a scene in a very public place and somebody will help her. That's the safest thing that she can do. But she can also do secret things, text, let her dad know she's okay, somehow get a message to him.
Well, Jake Berlinghoff, I know you want to send a message to your brother. We're looking at your brother's photo right now. What would you tell your brother if he could be watching right now? Make your appeal to your brother to do the right thing.
Charles, I'm begging you, if you're watching this from somewhere or seeing it somehow, please drop Jean off at a police station or somewhere safe. It has been 21 days since you took Jean out of my life. If you have any ounce of feeling or soul left in your body or care about Jean or any one of yours or her other family members, let my little girl come home. Her whole family loves her, and everyone here misses her so much. We spent Thanksgiving without her, and we do not want to spend Christmas or any other day without her. To my daughter Jean, sweetie, stay strong. We all love you so much. I know you're doing what you need to do to stay safe. I want you to know everyone here understands, and your sisters, your brothers, me and Mom, all your friends, we all love you no matter what.
This has got to be hell for you, Jake.
This has been extremely difficult.
How do you get through it?
I gotta hold out hope that she's alive right now, and hopefully she's watching this and she's gonna come home.
We want to find your daughter, Jean, alive and well. And I got to tell you something, sir. It does happen. Look at the Elizabeth Smart case. She was abducted. She was repeatedly raped over 9 months. But ultimately, the good news is she was found alive. And now the sicko responsible is on trial. Elizabeth's dad, Ed, and Erin Runyon have devoted their lives to making this country safer with the Not One More Child initiative. Erin, you've been in contact with Ed and Elizabeth. You see her today. She stormed out of the courtroom during the trial of the sicko kidnapper, Brian David Mitchell. Your thoughts on this girl who got through so much and now has to face this sicko right here in court?
I once heard Elizabeth say, he got 9 months of my life, he doesn't get one more day. And I think that her strength is unbelievable. And I know from my experience sitting through Samantha's murder trial, to listen to supposed experts really defend the behaviors and try and get this guy off, and not have to take responsibility for what he did to her, it's got to be incredibly infuriating. So I feel for her today.
Jake,
It's really disturbing testimony.
to try to understand what your daughter's going through, did she leave on her own volition, do you think? She can't make a decision at 15, but do you think he kidnapped her by force, or was he luring her away?
The only way he got her out of this house, she made the comment to my other brother that was here that she was waiting around to talk to me. The type of relationship that me and Jeannie had, the only way that he got her out of this house is by saying, hey, let's go get something to eat, or even if you don't leave this house, I'm going to do something to your dad or one of your sisters, so we better go now. Otherwise, there's no way she would have left on her own.
I hear that somebody picked up him calling her baby, which is highly inappropriate.
That's correct. That morning, I had gotten her cell phone. There's one text message in there from him to her where he referred to her as baby. I asked him about it, and he told me that that's what he called his girl. So I went and talked to my mom and asked my mom if she had ever heard him talk that way, and she said she wasn't sure. And I didn't have enough information right then to make an allegation towards him, but I went back and talked to him about it, and he got very defensive, and it about turned to blows between where me and him were about ready to break out in a fist fight. Other family members intervened, and then before I knew what happened, they were gone.
Jake, you are a good father. You are trying to do everything to find your daughter. Our hearts are with you. We want to stay on top of this story. And please, let's find this girl. Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to